Oh yeah, pretty much it, guys. To be honest, dude, I was just kind of thinking about this fucking thing. To be honest, dude, SOYtan or Satan or Shaitan, but really it's just the same as fucking SOYtan. To be honest, dude, it's fucking SOYtan. To be honest, dude, or basically just fucking the devil of fucking the voice. To be honest, dude, basically people unironically or just basically the collective even there just unknowingly worship Satan. To be honest, dude. Never reason to like fucking like worship Satan. Especially the freaking elites, dude. Especially the freaking elites, dude. Fucking the freaking Epstein, the freaking ball crap, to be honest. The Epstein freaking ball crap, to be honest, dude. The freaking ball crap, to be honest. The freaking mold crap, dude. I really like freaking mold, but oh, you know the inclination, you know it. To be honest, that these freaking guys, they worship itself, they're the devil or the adversarial force of like not existence, the adversarial force itself. There, that's basically pretty much it. To be honest, dude. When when a normie, specifically the freaking boomer, to be honest, dude, specifically them. And even fucking the specific this is basically nothing the fucking like personal level at the moment there. But basically but basically a fucking normie, to be honest, they just worship Satan. That's basically there, like they basically there that, oh my gosh, Jesus, or the fucking exoteric Christ, dude. Not Christ, I wouldn't say it's Christ, but the exoteric Jesus, to be honest, dude. Or even they're freaking like worshiping the government, to be honest. Not the worshiping the government, but basically adhering to the freaking government. This is basically just freaking parasitical, to be honest. And they basically strip away their freaking power itself there, and basic independence, to be honest, and independence in order for it, the government as an entity, as an entity, as an entity, to be honest, dude, the culmination of freaking crap, to be honest, for in order for it to exist, and nation by nation itself there with this freaking government there fought against each other for some odd reason, to be honest, there for some freaking like crap stuff about material and material gain, or freaking I don't know, freaking, to be honest there, I don't know, to be honest, or even if freaking like in Israel, to be honest, dude, this is freaking like worthless crap, to be honest, dude. They're like worshipping not or worshipping the freaking material, to be honest, dude, or just fighting the material, or unknowingly being allured by the freaking material, or the domain of freaking Satan, there, the domain of freaking Satan, to be the domain of freaking Satan, to be honest, dude. Not only about freaking Satan, to be honest, dude, or just freaking Sultan, to be honest, dude. Nothing wrong with liking science, but specifically if you know like atheism, to be, if you know, not really atheism, but in a nutshell, like I don't know. The science now just become like the science the most like become like the most fucking like pseudo intellectual crap. Specifically the dogmatic. What if you know specifically the dogmatic? It basically look like Rupert's Sheldrake, to be honest, dude. Now because it's basically like they in the worship for some reason. There's the worship of fiction such as space, fucking such as worship of fiction such as fucking space, and also like infinite freaking stars or infinite space or freaking something like that, to be honest, dude. Or even like round earth. Even like freaking round earth or something there. There's a worship of fiction. The worship of fiction, which is really like freaking ironic for them, to be honest, dude. The actually, or even worse there, kind of like the worship of intellect now, to be honest, dude. Intellect now, to be honest, there instead in intellect, to be honest, or just there's so much like intellectualism, to be honest, dude, or this basically like, I don't know, like a left brain crap, to be honest. There's too much left brain rot and reductionism. I also talk about like freaking like psychology brain rot. It basically it clouds or basically it clouds or distorts the perception of humanity, or just basically obstruct humanity, what's the freaking truth, to be honest, dude. And actually, they cannot connect the brain, their right brain there, or their heart, to be honest, there, to know reality, what it truly is, to be honest, dude. And if basically, specifically, like psychology, which is basically like freaking like psyche, or the freaking, it came with the rhyme for the Greek word like psyche, or basically the soul, dude. Psyche and logos, which is logic, to be honest, logic, to be honest, there, like psyche. It's more psychology is more like basically the freaking like worship, not the worship, but basically the freaking like referral to the for the brain, to be honest, to be the brain, or the physical, the physical aspect of the mind, physical aspect of the mind, instead of the, transcendental, even the fucking soul, dude. And it became like, oh my gosh, and it's becoming this freaking like constructed ideas out there, that you have the freaking mind there. No, the mind's for the brain, actually, dog. The mind is actually the brain. The mind is just basically inside the freaking brain. This is basically made by freaking chemical garbage. Not made by chemical garbage, but basically made by chemical freaking like electrical freaking firings or something there. Electrical freaking firing is just how they made basically the mind has been conceived. It's freaking stupid, to be honest, dude. This is freaking stupid, to be honest, dude. And they stupid, to be honest, dude. It's really, really funny, dude. That's basically the religion of Satan, to be honest, dude. It's kind of like this harmonic, if you know the Rudolf Steiner. This is basically Satan loves freaking like physicalism, to be honest, dude. Nominalism as well, or basically just kind of like, you know, or the law of basically of parts, to be honest, dude. If you know it, nominalism there, nominalism, the law of parts, and categories itself there. It's just basically believing there's no freaking like kind of like basically like universal. They just basically just particulars, to be honest. Just particulars, to be honest, dude. Just particulars just exist, dude. There's no like freaking like higher freaking stuff. That really just freaking girlfriend stuff, to be honest, dude. Not girlfriend stuff, but not really girlfriend stuff, but basically like enveloped engulfed stuff. And also as well, yeah, I said there basic nominalism, physicalism, obviously like it stems like reductionism, to be honest, dude. This actually most of the days is freaking harmonic, and basically the worship of basically the banal, to be honest, there. This the boomer is basically the boomer itself. The boomer, yes, basically Satan itself there, and basically like freaking the victim of says is basically the adversarial force itself there, of basically like you know of basically like liberation and freedom, but I'm actually thinking about not liberation and freedom, but basically desire. If basically if basically a person like knows desire itself, they basically said that like, oh my gosh, if I freaking like yeah, I feel happy and freaking masturbating, or just basically craving something, or having a hunger, to be honest, there. It's just wanting itself of freaking like, oh my gosh, like tacos and such there. And tacos and such there, just basically tacos and such become like really, really ridiculously freaking happy, like whoa, dude, you're freaking ridiculously happy there, dude, and elated there. There's tacos, and there's another taco there. Oh yeah, taco there. It's basically like drinking like freaking Red Bull or freaking something there. I was just drinking Red Bull there. It's basically like fast food crap there. It just become like a beast and have like sedentary life, to be honest, dude. You become a redditor. A redditor is basically like leave something. It's basically like he's happy with that. He's just equating like happiness to freedom, to be honest, dude. Not the happiness to volition, or basically like freaking his choice, but it's actually his freaking desires, to be honest, that lead him, not actually his, dude. That's basically freaking Satan, dude. Freaking lure you about this freaking crap there, to be honest there. This is basically like really like freaking like this candy there. There's freaking like a child there, but actually open is basically like freaking dung inside. Little dung inside. That's freaking Satan. And the boomers, and the boomers there, or the Satan really loves the really loves the obedient dude, because he kind of plays this freaking this kind of like places freaking like Hegelian stuff there, to be honest, dude. Hegelian stuff there, to be honest, there, of false good and basically good, false good and bad there. That yeah, basically yeah, I will save you, dude. I will save him. I will freaking save you or something. I will save you or something. I will not save you or something. Will help you or aid you towards something, dude, or for something, dude, or to something, dude. And what happened next? Yeah, yeah. You got duped, my guy. You got duped, my guy. You think that actually you think that actually this a fucking dude there will help you there, or basically like how like negative entities work, to be honest there. They create their they create the pro they create the problem there. They create a solution. That's pretty much it, dude. That's basically Satan in a nutshell there. That's Satan in a nutshell there. That's pretty much it, dude. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Satan is basically become that, dude. This is not become that, but basically Satan or SOYtan, to be honest, dude. SOYtan, or just basically the god of normies. Not god, but basically, the fucking, I guess, the god of normies, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. The god of normies. They're not god, but freaking like a pathetic worm. The pathetic worm of freaking of normies, to be honest, dude. The demiurge also work like that. I just ended the note, dude. Or the demiurge is Satan too as well. But yeah, okay. But yeah, not yet. Yep. End it there.